YouTube? Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger episode 6. So this was literally a trash episode, and it was a weird episode because it kind of started out and I was like, this is okay, kind of annoying, but it kind of won me over in the second half. It was a little bit charming. I'm still not sure exactly how I feel about Zenkaiger, but we'll get into that in a bit. But the basic premise was around the monster of this week being a trash world, and he was filling the world with trash, basically, which caused the problem of there being trash everywhere that needed to clean up. And then later it caused the secondary problem of it would make people lazy and like unable to work on cleaning up the trash or anything else. And that was kind of the main problem of the episode. And Vroom was very much wanting to clean it up because he's very much a neat guy and this was kind of in his lane. And the Rangers were all trying to clean it up at one point, but before even the lazy spell hit them, they were all having trouble concentrating, like, what's his name? Gown was singing soft kitty, warm kitty, and then you have Zenkaiger reading manga, and everyone's distracted, so he's kind of doing it all by himself, and that was kind of the main problem. And then you kind of have this subplot that ties into it about how Majin's one of those people that has like a messy room, but she's got a system, and there was a little bit of a plot going on there where her and Vroom kind of understand each other a little more because he understands that she thinks differently, and it was kind of a nice moment. It wasn't like the most amazing thing ever, but I thought it was a nice little moment. There's at least a decent amount of these little moments between the characters that don't make them feel completely like cartoons. I honestly thought that was going to be a bigger deal because the episode started about Majin, but it wound up feeling like I said, kind of a subplot in it. And then within this, though, that we actually get some nice little teasers of things. Like, this was kind of a general filler episode for the most part, but there was some nice little tease up for things, like this random dude all of a sudden shows up when Zenkaiger's cleaning, and he's like, oh, the world's trash or whatever. And he's obviously going to be a character. He's dressed like an anime character, so I'm going to presume this is Kaiser from the preview next week, which actually looks super exciting. So I'm excited about that, but he kind of mysteriously appeared, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. They're doing a little teaser for whatever's to come later with this guy. And then he shows up at the very end for the cliffhanger, and he's like, oh, you don't recognize your own son? Was it the tank guy or was it the professor? I think it was the tank guy. But that was like a nice cliffhanger to end on. And there was also a moment too when they're discussing the plan of the week, and he talks about, like, it's funny because the boss is like, you idiot, I don't want my world that I'm conquering to be filled with trash. You can kill the people all you want, but I don't want a dirty floor. And he's like, it's fine, we'll just invent like a super vacuum. I thought that was pretty funny. But then he said, oh, but where's the professor been anyway? And they kind of show that he's still working on things. So one thing I will give this series credit for so far in this episode, and we're not very long in, but in most episodes since we've started, like, even when they're being silly and doing kind of fillery episodes, there are little nuggets of the main plot and stuff that's to come, like with Zenkaiger's parents last week, and then this week with Kaiser, and with hinting at the professor still working on stuff. Like, it's small stuff, but I appreciate that, and even if this series ends up being basically like this, I hope that continues, because one thing that will annoy me about long stretches of filler and other Sentai is when they completely drop any progress for really long periods of time. So within this, it was nice to see little kind of interesting hints within this filler episode. I said within this twice, and I'm sorry about that. But after that, though, you know, setting aside the hints at stuff which I liked, in the second half I was like really entertained by the final battle when they all transform, and like some of them have trash bags on them, and they're like, even if we're trash, we're gonna give it 100%. And I thought that was pretty funny, and they say like, oh, I think we're the first trash based heroes or something like that, and not Navi's like, I think I have to look that up, and they use like Zenkaiger Google, or Zenkaiger Google, which I thought that was pretty funny, and it was kind of like endearing. I thought it was stupid, but it was enjoyable. They used the Go Busters transformation, not transformation, but the Go Busters gear ability. I mean, if they're going for a trash theme, they should have used Jew Ranger and a Ninja, but it's whatever. But I think that was the only one that they used this week, if I remember right. And then we defeat the monster, we grow big, yet again, props to them having different world themes for the mecha fight to make it feel different. And then there's kind of a funny scene at the end with the two mecha sweeping up, and then like I said, we got that cliffhanger at the end with him saying, oh, I'm your son. So I don't know, I thought it was a decently enjoyable episode. I'm still mixed on how I feel about the series so far. Like, I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. I'm just kind of moderately enjoying it. I think the thing about Zenkaiger is it's a very specific type of show. I feel like it's so close to Car Ranger in a way, where it's a lot of parody and silliness more, but it's not 100% there, because it still takes its plot a little bit seriously. To some degree, we'll see how it goes, but I think the way to enjoy it, or the way I'm trying to enjoy it, is kind of like when I watched Car Ranger, is you just kind of have to lean into what they're going for so you can enjoy the things that they're pulling off, because it's not necessarily bad, because they're nailing exactly what they're going for, it might not just be 100% my cup of tea. I think my fear is that I'm enjoying it okay, but I don't know how long I can sustain it for like 40 plus episodes. But like I said, this episode won me over, and once I leaned into it, there was some endearing bits in it that I liked. And I liked the nuggets that they're adding in for future plots. And next week actually looks really cool and exciting with the debut of that guy. And there's gonna be like some Sentai and Megazord summonings or something. I don't know what's gonna work with that, but it looks actually pretty exciting. But what do you think so far? What did you think of this episode? Are you liking Zenkaiger so far? 6 episodes in. Are you looking forward to next week's? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can see my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.